You need 2 tennis balls and 2 wooden dowels. Now, a tip, if you want to make this slightly heavier, it's a very, very cheap way of trying Indian club swinging out before you commit to purchasing clubs. Now,
Dutchman, yeah, shuffle on the production, like this, yeah, like this, yeah. The flowing Dutchman, yeah, the flowing Dutchman.
Boom, and welcome to another video, The Flowing Dutchman. Now, I'm here with Mr. Paul Wolkowinski. There he is. And he has something fascinating. The thing, when you want to start swinging like clubs or Indian clubs, is that they're quite expensive for people because they have to be usually manufactured with wood, so you need to have some type of a way to actually make the clubs, which means that they're usually custom made or they're just expensive. So it's not that everybody is directly connected to it, and it's also because in the West wood is more expensive than metal because we get it from China. So the metal ones are actually different than the wooden ones. But Paul has a cheap solution for you to start swinging like clubs, which is excellent. And in this video, I'd like him to talk a little bit about that.
so the basic idea with this is that you need 2 tennis balls and 2 wooden dowels that you can get from your the Home Depot or like a hardware store. And with the tennis balls, you need a box cutter knife that you're going to cut across, and not too big. Don't cut it too big, just enough to poke your finger in, basically like this. And that
would depend on the thickness.
Yes,
of the
but
rod.
it depends on the thickness of the dowel. These dowels are 19 millimeters in size, and you can see that I can push the ball on there, and it holds relatively well. You could put a nail into the top of it here, or a tack of some description,
of course.
and then pop the other one onto the other side. These, the length of the dowels really depends on your stature. By that I mean height. If you're slightly longer in your arms, you may want a longer club. These are a little bit too long for me personally.
Yeah, what is the standard size of the?
Well, the standard size of a 2-pound is 18 inches,
okay,
which is about 50 centimeters, 51 I think it is, or something.
That would be good.
20-inch clubs. I mean, for instance, that's an 18-inch club. That's a 20. That's a 24.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's the sort of difference we're talking about. And that's the length, the full length of the dowel that needs to be cut.
Yeah, these would be a bit too big for my preference with the light clubs, but you can hold them a bit higher.
No, I can hold them up.
Yeah.
You can choke them. I mean, technically, this is called choking. So I can go from here, and especially when I go out to this sort of level, I can feel the weight of the tennis balls on the end of the club very easily, and you can start doing Indian club movements with these. Swinging up to the top and the circles, and they're perfectly sufficient as you're learning Indian clubs. Now, a tip, if you want to make this slightly heavier, then you do the cross cut on a second ball on the other side, and you slip one ball on first with both holes, and then you slip the one at the end and possibly put a tack in it, because that's going to provide more weight. And obviously, if it's just pushed on, they might come off during practice.
And I was thinking too that you could potentially also fill that with sand.
You could with sand, but I mean, you'd have to glue it, make sure that the sand is in like put a plastic bag in first.
Oh, that's true.
Fill it in, because you're going to have the sand coming out otherwise.
Or cement maybe.
Cement possibly,
yeah.
but I mean, it's you can fill it or put something in there to make the weight. But I mean, the easiest way, as I say, is to get 2. I mean, even 3 balls on here would actually substantially increase the weight of the clubs. And this is just a really nice way for children to start. Because children can benefit a lot from the Indian club swinging, and for adults, if they're new and you want to try it out, it's a very, very cheap way of trying Indian club swinging out before you commit to purchasing clubs. Now, if we take the camera over here, I'm just going to describe, these clubs up here, the black ones, polyurethane clubs. That's a £1 club, that one there. That's a £3. I don't have any 2-pounders here right now, but you can imagine a 2-pounder is halfway between the two. Those clubs are available on Amazon. They're pretty well everywhere. They're very, very common. They're easy to get. It's called a black polyurethane club. Then after that, there's a big price jump to go into wooden clubs. And you need to be proficient with wooden clubs because the chances are that they will get knocked, and which I call dings. You've got to ding your clubs or knock them together, which to me is it's a sign of becoming proficient with Indian clubs. But that's further down the track. These are the way to go if you want to get started. So off to the depot store or the hardware store and get yourself some of these and a couple of tennis balls and have a go.
Super cool. Yeah, and I would also think that once you have these and once the passion starts to ignite and you start to get into it, eventually you'll be able to save some money up to get a pair of gloves, and then your collection will eventually be like yours.
Yes.
Maybe a bit smaller,
but there's no need for a connection like this. I mean, if you have you can start off with a £1 pair of clubs if you buy them, because that's quite a bit heavier than a tennis ball, and then eventually move up to a 1.5 or a £2 club, which is more than enough. And I've got to say that on a daily basis, I tend to swing £2 clubs more than anything else, maybe going up to 2.5, £3 occasionally.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
That's super. Yeah, they're a bit tall.
But I think it's the noticeable thing out of it is that you get the finger mobility, you get the feel of because technically clubs are a hand extension, and they will give you that sensation.
Yeah, they will also give you an idea of actually if you want to do this. You can go through a program. You'd be able to get the feel for it and see if it's really for you. And it will be, if you're doing it purely for rehabilitation, just moving like this will already help that rehabilitation. And it's beautiful. Super cool.
Yeah, excellent.
Over the years, I've found so much joy in creation. Light Club 6 is designed to bring that joy of creation to your screen. Through 3 sessions every week, you'll be exposed to increasingly challenging movement patterns with Indian clubs. In the first week, you'll learn about crossing swings. In the second week, you'll learn about parallel swings. And in the third week, you'll learn how to combine the parallel and the crossing swings. In the fourth week, you will master wrist circles. And in the fifth week, we'll dissect asynchronous swings. And lastly, in the sixth week, you'll learn how to combine the synchronous swings and the asynchronous swings. At the end of Light Club 6, the word beginner will not fit you anymore. Are you ready to structure and perfect the art of Indian club swinging? Join now at DutchFlowAcademy.com. Boom! Thank you for your attention. It's greatly appreciated. If you like the content, please consider to share, like, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to see similar videos, you can see them over here. If you're interested in learning more from me as a coach, I've got online courses on DutchFlowAcademy.com. Keep flowing. Ram Ram.